Hey guys, we're back, and this time we're taking a look at the Crimson Scales Trail of Ashes expansion, which is a expansion or an unofficial fan-made expansion to the unofficial fan-made expansion to Gloomhaven. Say that 5 times fast. So this is extra content. I don't know if it requires the Crimson Scales. I think it's a standalone. We'll have to get in and check that out, but this is another edition add-on to that adds more scenarios and more things to do, a couple new characters on top of everything that's in the original game, or everything that's in the Crimson Scales as well as the original game. So we're going to get in here and take a look. So inside the box here, I think I've taken the cover off this one. I did take the shrink wrap off ahead of time, so makes it easier on camera. We've got our little flyer here, and it tells you to read this first. It tells you how to separate, what to do with all the components as you punch them. And then the back side talks about the extra components. Very important. Next we have some seal stickers, so you can seal your secret content. They don't come pre-done apparently. Got some punch boards. Looks like there might be only one. I think there's only one punch board there. I don't know if little camera with the plastic on. So let me get the plastic off it real quick. So we have our punch boards. We got our new character class tokens. Some new bosses. Not sure what those are. Are they labeled? No, nothing. Oh, yeah, and they're very easy to punch out apparently. Things are falling out of here. Got some new, looks like status ailments. Some new terrain tokens here. And I don't know what that piece was that came out. I don't know if that's actually used for something or not, but we're going to put that back. Just in case. And we have our Crimson Scales Trail of Ashes rulebook and scenario guide. So I won't flip through here too much because I don't want to show too much away and give any spoilers, but we got our what's updated. Some changes to rules. There's our new condition, brittle and dodge. There's also empower and enfeeble. Oh, and there's rupture down there as well. We got some overlay, tile rules, perks, milestones. Those are what those cards were in the other. I couldn't figure out what they were. They're milestone cards. And then some talk about the campaign. And then we get into the actual campaign. So we're not going to go any further than that. The book there. We got all kinds of boxes here. So where do we start off? Let's start off with the cards. One ginormous thing of cards. And just like the ones in Crimson Scales, they're listed here, so it tells you what cards for what classes are in here. They do have spoiler tags on both sides, so we're going to leave those at that for now. I do like that they have this little cutout here for the rings on the book when you put it away, so they sit down in there. Probably stick a pencil in there too. It's deep enough. Let's see. Underneath, we've got some more character boxes. Three on that side. And then more cards down here. I don't know how well this insert is going to work, especially if you sleeve anything. But this looks like the cards for the other two classes there, so I'm not going to bother opening those. Same thing as the other one. We've got a mystery box U. what that is. More board tiles, maybe. Mystery envelope S. And mystery envelope M. These are just taped shut. I'm not going to open any of those, though, because I don't know what is in there. We got a bag of mixed cards here. And these, it looks like, these are new items. Why are the random ones upside down in the deck? Oh, it's double-sided, that's why. I'm not sure what the double-sided ones are, so. But yeah, so we got a bunch of new items and equipment. And we got these. These look like location cards for unlocked scenarios. They just have location names and like a checkbox on them. Since we don't have a map with stickers for this. Got another pack of bigger cards here. I really do like the use of the Holt cards to cover up things too. So, these look like player reference cards that have been updated to include the new status elements. So basically replacement cards for the original set have everything on there. Slide these back further. You can get everything on camera here. There's still quite a bit more to go through. So we got some new goal cards here. I can't remember what these are exactly called. I call them goal cards. It's your career goal that you're trying to go to retire your character. We have a handful of new city event cards and some new road event cards. And it looks like there's a section of cards in here that are replacements for cards from Crimson Scales. I don't know if they were updated, changed, reworded, whatever. But I'm not going to show those in case you don't have certain things unlocked. Spoiler games are so hard to do up unboxing. And these have the same monster cards as Crimson Scales did. Instead of the big square cards from the base game, they're standard size cards, and then you only do half and half. So instead of there being bigger card like that, and you having the four different things to use there, one on each side, they've just gone and split it a different way. So it still goes level 0 through 7. It's just split among 2 cards. But we have our new monsters in there. Cool pack of metal coins. I think these are specific to classes. Well, these were an upgrade or Kickstarter thing. These little ones are going to get lost. I can see that. So these have character specific icons on them. I'm assuming they're used for something. This says water element. Oh, this is the blood token for that guy. So yeah, I think they're class specific. These are little tiny. This is a target. Yeah, these are target icons. These are sprocket icons. And then these are some kind of like spell pinwheels. Definitely have to look what those are, but they're all metal, which is kind of neat. The bigger ones, the little ones are kind of hard to tell. The bigger ones actually feel quite nice. They're very thick. It's not that cheap pop metal that's going to bend. They literally feel like actual coins. Nice weight and size to them. This looks like our pack of monster action cards. Yep, that's all that's in there. So we're going to put those back in there so they don't get messed up. If I can. But again, the cards have a nice feel to them. They literally feel exactly like the original ones, which is cool. Those are all just monster cards. I put through them real quick. We got another massive pack. I think this is going to be our class cards for the 5 classes in here. I don't, like I said earlier, think that this insert is going to be very usable once you get all this stuff unpackaged. I don't think they made enough spaces in here for things. So yeah, so these are just your upgrade cards for your various classes, and they do have the class symbols on the side, so you know basically whose upgrade deck is whose. I'm going to put these, I'll stick them over here. You get a handful of Ziploc bags here. A couple big ones though. Let's see, 4 or 5 of them. Same size ones that came with Crimson Scales, I guess. But so to help you with storage, the next thing in our box here, we got our character boxes. The last 2 of those. And I opened these in the Crimson Scales one, so if you want to see what's contained in these, basically you have your player board, which is your actual little player board that has your hit points on it, and they have a brief description of how the character works on them. Story on the back with some artwork. You have your character sheets where you check off your perks as you earn them and your XP as you gain it. And the standee token for your character is also in there. So I'm not going to open those in this because I don't want to get yelled at for spoilers, because I know people will freak out about this game. And as always, I always check under the insert for things you can feel. There's actually weight to this. Under the insert is the Crimson Scales Collected Works. Now, I don't know if this comes in every box or they threw these in there because I got this at the Kickstarter, because I think the art book was actually an extra. So, yeah, I believe these were extra on the Kickstarter, so I don't think everybody got these. I could be wrong on that. Maybe they came with all the Trail of Ashes, but that's pretty cool. Got some great full color artwork in here. Developer notes on the classes. It's probably full of spoilers, and I just flipped through, so I'll get yelled at for it, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm gonna say I think that was an extra, so don't count on a guarantee of that being in the box. If it is, cool perk. And that is a look at everything that comes in the Crimson Scales Trail of Ash expansion to the expansion box, I guess it is. And like I said in the Crimson Scales video I did, the unboxing for that, is everything has the same quality as the original. Even these metal tokens are actually slightly better than the components, I think, in the original. The punch boards feel almost identical. The cards feel identical. I think the only component change were these monster cards, so they don't have the big square cards that were in the original game, but honestly that's no big loss. I printed these out for my my games, and you stick these right on here. And see, they won't actually work on these, so we'll have to figure something out. Maybe we'll put them this way. But it gives you the spots to put the tokens for damage and whatever that the monsters sustain. A lot of people use the advanced bases that have little slots in them too, so a lot of ways to do that, but basically on these you're just going to cover up half. Everything else is excellent. Can't wait to see what's in the secret stuff. Get everything punched out, sorted away as per the rules, and actually get in and start playing. And I'm recording this after the fact, but in both the Crimson Scales and the Crimson Scales Trail of Ashes videos, I talked about the standees that are available for each of the playable characters that come in the character box. And you put them on the base, and you use that as your character. That actually matches in with the enemies. The enemies always had standees in Gloomhaven. But in the base game of Gloomhaven and Jaws of the Lion and that, the character models were all miniatures. And for Crimson Scales, that's actually no different, but they offered them as an optional add-on. So you could buy a box of the miniatures and have fully 3D miniatures of all the various characters. Now, I didn't do that, but I do have access to my own 3D printer, which, if I can do this without making too much of a mess of the video, make it too jerky. Over here, we do have our 3D printer, and it's a mess right now. I'm sorry. I was actually in the middle of printing something, and it's like on hold, but it's not cleaned out, so the bat's even got, you can't even see under the plastic, but it's got a tray over the bat. But These are the guys I printed out for the various classes in there. Actually, I think these ones, yeah, it goes up to here. So all these guys over here. There are a few missing because the models for the Trail of Ashes guys weren't all out yet when I made mine. But they came out, I think, pretty good. Pretty good detail. I have not painted any of them. You can see they're primered. That's about it. But I really liked the way that they came out. And you can see. Pretty cool. And so again, you can probably save yourself a lot of headaches though and buy these pre-printed. I don't know if they're still selling them, if they're still available, but you could get these all pre-made, and they came with the matching figure boxes, I believe, with the character icons on them like you had in the original Gloomhaven. I went the cheaper route, printed them out myself, and it was a lot of work to get it out there and get them done. But I think they turned out pretty good. I got to get the last couple I'm missing done and finish them all out. But I wanted to just mention that those were available, and I didn't mention them in the other videos, and I forgot. So I'm adding this on there and letting you know that they're out there. I will be doing a review on it, but it is going to be quite a while before I get around to doing this, so don't hold your breath on that. I've got to play through, we're in the middle of a normal Gloomhaven campaign, we're going to play through that, then I'm going to start working on Crimson Scales, then we're going to get to this, so it's going to be quite a while down the road before we get to doing a video on this, but there definitely will be one, so keep an eye out for that in the future, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.